Hey guys, Angela with Turo Family Chiropractic and your weekly PSA or piece of salutogenic advice. So today, continuing our Drink Water Month discussion and talking about checking your fluids and not talking about the fluids for your car, although that would be important as well to keep track of, but talking about checking the fluids that you're choosing to use to hydrate your body and making sure that they're going to be truly hydrating and not doing more damage than good. So, with that being said, we hear a lot of different requirements for water intake or fluid intake. So, actually, someone just earlier this week had a really good question. I posted something about 2.7 liters for women and 3.7 liters for men as far as your fluid requirements. And somebody commented back and said, "Oh, I've always heard it's half your body weight in ounces." And then, other people will say, "Oh, well, I've heard it's 8 cups or 10 cups." So there's all these different recommendations. And what it comes down to is some of those are specifically talking about water, and some are talking about your overall fluid needs throughout the day that are going to make sure that you stay hydrated. So when we're talking about that, technically any beverage that you consume is going to count as fluid intake because at the base of all of those beverages is water. So that is going to count as far as meeting that overall fluid intake that you need for the day because your body will be able to pull water from those beverages. But with that being said, not all fluids are created equally. So you have to make sure you're checking labels. Anything that comes bottled is very likely packed with added sugars, artificial colors and additives and preservatives, maybe artificial sweeteners. So you really have to pay attention to those things. Things like soda, sports drinks, lemonade, iced tea, all of these things that are so easily accessible have so much additional stuff added to it. So if you think about it, yes, your body will be able to pull water from that and will be able to use that to hydrate to an extent, but it's also going to have to process all that sugar, which is going to tax your liver. As far as adding to insulin resistance, it's going to tax your liver because it's going to have to filter out any additional toxins that might be in that, like artificial ingredients, artificial colors, artificial sweeteners, all of those things that get added to those drinks. So yes, you might be getting some, additional fluids by drinking those, but it's going to be taxing your body to an extent as well. So in that case, water is always going to be the best option. And when we say water, we're going to be talking about clean, filtered water. So there were some posts, if you haven't seen, in the What the Health group earlier this week and last week about making sure that you're checking out the filtration status of your tap water and making sure you're using a good water filtration system or getting good filtered water. That's going to be really important as well because, again, we want our fluids to be hydrating us, not adding extra stress to our body by being an additional toxin. We're already exposed to enough of that, so we want what we're using to hydrate us to be good, pure, nice, clean, hydrating water and not have all the other things that are going to stress out our liver and our kidneys that are trying to get rid of all the bad stuff. We just want the good hydrating stuff. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I just can't stand the taste of water, I couldn't even fathom the idea of drinking unsweetened coffee or unsweetened tea, it's very likely you have a sugar addiction. So really, you have to get to the core of that. If the thought of replacing soda with water just seems completely unreasonable, that's something that you're really going to need to get to the base of and work through and really take an inventory of all the places you're getting sugar in your diet. So not just in what we drink, but all the processed foods, snack foods, fast foods, all that stuff has so much added sugar in it that's just going to continually trigger that sugar reward pathway in the brain. And if that's what's going on with you on a physiological level, yeah, of course the taste of plain water isn't going to taste as appetizing as something that's sugary, because that's what your brain wants. That's what your body wants to keep going, to keep functioning. So make sure you're doing everything you can to limit those sugars throughout your day, because then the taste of just regular pure water, unsweetened teas, herbal teas, things like that are going to taste so much better and so much more refreshing once you can kind of get that sugar addiction under control. So I know it's a lot of information coming at you today. We always talk about sugar. We're really focusing on the hydration, but just wanted to give you a little bit of understanding of why, if you're one of those people that, water just doesn't taste good, you don't like drinking it throughout the day, that might be something that you need to take a look at. Even if you don't drink a lot of sugary beverages, it might be that you're eating a lot of sugary things, and it's still the same idea where when you're consuming something that doesn't give you that sugar spike, it just doesn't taste as appetizing to you. So make sure you're checking out labels of anything that you're drinking on a regular basis. So if you're grabbing coffee on the go, make sure you're looking online at nutrition information. If you're grabbing something from a convenience store, make sure you're reading those labels. And remember that anything that's marked as diet does not necessarily mean healthy, because that's just going to have a lot of artificial, the sweeteners to make it still taste sweet. It's going to have other artificial ingredients in it. So make sure at its purest you're going for nice, good filtered water. That's going to keep you hydrated throughout the day, give your body the energy that it needs to do everything that it's doing. So make sure you're reading those labels and getting that good, healthy hydration throughout the day. So thanks for tuning in, guys. That was your weekly PSA. Make sure you're following us in our What the Health group all month long, talking about drinking water. And yes, we're giving it a whole month because it absolutely is that important. So make sure you're staying tuned. As always, any questions, comments, please feel free to send them our way. We're here to help and help you guys get healthy and stay healthy for life. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.